Hey everybody, what's up? So I decided I'm going to give myself a dimple challenge, which is actually going to be a proof like or a dimple challenge. So I have taken all my coins that I could find the best reflectivity of, and I'm going to submit them to PCGS. You do not have to pay extra for proof like or dimple labeling on your coin. If it is a proof like or a dimple, it will automatically be on the label of the coin. However, I went through them all last night. I stayed up till 4 in the morning so I could have some peace and quiet doing it. And I found some varieties. We're gonna go through them here now. And yeah, if you collect coins and you want to do a dimple challenge with me, I'd sure appreciate it. Let's get some interaction going here amongst my very small subscriber force. All right, guys, let's dig into it. All right, so here we have an 1878 S, San Francisco. I believe, oh, this is a 7 tail feathers reverse of 1878. So condition wise, I believe it's a 63 and it would be a proof like. I also think it is a VAM 85 or a VAM 86. I'm not sure exactly. So pricing wise, some of these PCGS gives the price for them with the variety, but not all of them. There's several in here where it's really just a guess. And the way I'm guessing is I'm basing it off of what the price is without the variety and then throwing on a little extra with the variety because the variety always makes the price go up. So if it's a VAM 85 or an 86, I am thinking this is around an $800 Morgan. I got 800 plus written down, so $800 or more if I'm right on the grade and the reflectivity. And a lot of these I'm going to say right now, you're not seeing it that well. Here, just grab something my kids have laying around here. You can see the reflectivity when you're doing dimples and proof likes. Say, let's look for that Corolla sign, or Crayola, Corolla, right there. So you want, for a proof like, you need reflectivity up to 3 inches, you know, a clear reflective field up to 3 inches on both sides of the coin. And there's a little caveat on there where some of these, I may not get it. For this little caveat, it says you have to have it without too many scratches, basically. So some of them are nice and reflective, but if their scratches are too much, they're not going to give it to me. So we will see. That's about 3 inches there. I'm telling you, in person, I can see it clear. In the video I see there, though, it's not as clear. So that's just the video, but it is not too shabby. Okay, here we have an 1879 S. So this one actually has some nice reflectivity. I mean, condition-wise, pretty nice. Strike-wise, cheeks are pretty clear, not a lot of scratches in the fields. The back is nice as well. Reflectivity is pretty good. Look for that Corolla. That's gonna get me so many times in this video. The Crayola symbol. The back's pretty nice. Again, you can see it way better in person. However, this one, I even wrote it on the thing. I was gonna label it proof like, but I'm taking it away. I'm gonna submit it and hope that I get it, but it's kind of a test one for me. So here's the thing, it's at the top here. See how you can see the Crayola, where is it? Crayola, yeah, let's just go with the blue, it's a little bit better. Relatively well right there. You get up here and it gets hazy. And I believe you need to have clear reflectivity around the whole perimeter of the devices. So I don't think this one's gonna get it. I'm gonna submit it under this submission video and hope that I get it. I've got it labeled as an MS64, and I have it also just without the proof like as $135. So it's kind of a risk. I am going to submit it with a variety attribution. It's got a double motto and a double 8, and I don't have the variety for that. It may not be a variety that PCGS recognizes, but I'm gonna submit it and hope that I get it. Here we have an 1880. Once again, pretty nice. A little bit more banged up than the previous one. Nice strike on it. That's a large S as well, but I don't think they really put that on the stickers when they put them in there. At any rate, I don't have this as a variety because the only thing about it is that it's a large S, and I didn't see that variety underneath the PCGS coin facts. So this one, I have it labeled as a MS63 proof-like. That would be a $170 coin right there. Here we've got an 1881 San Francisco quality. Again, pretty nice. Most of these have a pretty nice quality. As you can see, this one looks like there's doubling under the 1881, but I think I'm actually still a little bit confused about this whole phenomena. It's not like doubling is when you see layers of metal, basically. And this is more like, I don't even know how to describe it. It's like a reflective surface on the fields. It's not an actual layer. Somebody called it clashing, but like when you talk about Morgans, a lot of time there's clashing above the wing and over here next to the wreath, and that's what they call clashing, and that's just like a strike through. Basically, some people call it strike through, some people call it clashing. I don't know. So a mix of terminology and a little bit confusing. So at any rate, I'm not submitting it for a variety because I couldn't find anything specific of the major varieties. So MS63, this one, I believe, is a dimple, and sadly, it's just really hard for me to show that off to you in the video. For a dimple, you need to have the clear reflectivity up to 6 inches away. So this is the first one I'm hoping to get a dimple on, and that would be a $280 coin. Here we've got an 1882 Carson City. I believe this one is an easy dimple. You can see it's extremely reflective on these ones. I've got a few of these that are extremely reflective. So again, that's pretty good. Quality of the video doesn't justify it. You see it in person and it's very nice. So 1882 CC dimple. I've got it graded as an MS63, and that's $1,000 Morgan right there. Oh, I also have it as a VAM3, so I will be submitting this with a variety attribution. Here we have another 1882 CC. This has a double 882. I believe it is a hit list 40 coin and a dimple. I have it graded as a MS63 dimple, and I'm not 100% sure of the variety. It's a VAM2 or a VAM2B, and again, the pricing is hard to figure out, but it should be worth over $1,000 if I'm correct. Here we have an 1883 CC. I'm going for dimple. I believe it is an MS64, and that would make it, without any variety attribution, that would make it a $850 Morgan. Here we have an 1883 Philly. I think it is a VAM10. It's got sextuple stars, and I'm actually not 100% sure about the sextuple stars, but basically I've got extreme doubling of all the stars, the date, and the stars on the right side. It says it's an extremely difficult variety to find. So the sextupling is hard to find, but it has, it does mention that the extreme doubling tends to be the telltale sign, and I definitely have extreme doubling. So I'm really hoping that this is the VAM 10. And if it is, I've got one of the harder to find varieties, and they don't, again, because they don't have that many of them, they haven't graded them. Here's something that concerns me. I've got a gouge there. It could come back details, which would suck. I honestly don't know if they still give you the variety. If it comes back details, I am not sure about that. Maybe I'll have to call them and find out, but I've got it rated as an AU55 proof-like, and guessing on the price based off of the without variety version, it'd be $400, so I have it marked as 400 plus. So fingers crossed on this one. This one I'm kind of excited about. Wish it was in better condition though. Here is a very beautiful 1885 New Orleans. I believe this is a dimple, pretty easy. I mean, again, you need reflectivity up to 6 inches, but since you aren't really able to see it in the videos anyway, just giving you an idea of how reflective it is. MS63, I have this one rated as, no variety. That would be $280 if it's the dimple. 1885 New Orleans, again. Also, I believe it's a dimple, and also an MS63. This one, though, I believe is a VAM 5, which the date is far and tilted. And with that variety should be, again, hard. It doesn't tell you what that variety is worth specifically, but it's $280 without the variety, so I've got it listed as $280 plus. Here's another 1885 New Orleans, again. I believe it is the O over O variety, and it has a ton of doubling. So I'm not sure what to submit it as, because it does have the O over O, but everything is doubled. I just realized something. For a second, I thought I had a donkey tail, which is when the D has a die gouge, basically, a big chunk of metal coming out under it. They call it a donkey tail. But there is doubling. I don't know if you can see it in the video, but there's a ton of doubling on this thing. And of course you can't really see it, but all the lettering on the back is okay, I think you can see it there in the States. The bottom to the left of the T there. So hard to give you a good view of it in the camera, but you can see it kind of in the States. In God We Trust, the eagle's head and wings are actually doubled. The wreaths, pretty much it's almost completely a double die reverse. So I would assume that's going to stand out. I just don't know which variety it is listed as. So again, I have it listed as an MS64 dimple, and it should be worth more than $525. Finally, something different. 1887 Philly. I have it as a MS64 dimple and a VAM 4. That would make it $525 plus. 1887 Philly, again. I think this is also the VAM 4, but this one I may send in for restoration because quality-wise it is better than the last one, and I'm hoping, really just look at the fields. There's not a whole lot of marks on the front or the back. It does have this gouge in the cheek, which I'm concerned about knocking me down one, but I'm gonna go out on a limb and call this one a 65, and that's why I'm gonna submit it for restoration. I wanna get rid of the toning. It's got some mild toning, which probably doesn't really complement it. So I'm gonna submit it for that. I'm hoping with a restoration that it'll come back as 65. I have it as a proof-like MS65, variety 4. That would make it $385 plus. 1894 San Francisco. pretty scratched up in the fields, however, still quite reflective. This one has a double profile on the nose, upper lip, on the chin, on the neck, and actually on the eyeball as well. You're not going to see it in this video, but that's what's there. So I have it listed as that variety and as an MS61 I'm calling it, with a proof like. That should be a $1,600 plus coin. So 1894S is a little bit less common date. I'm a bit excited about this one too. I hope it comes back what I've got it. That'd be pretty sweet. Just a few more left, guys. 1897, San Francisco. So you see a lot of those scratches there. Those are actually polishing marks in the die. There's definitely scratches in the fields, but the big ones, the ones you're really seeing, are polishing marks. Again, it's polishing marks if it's in the fields. If you see those scratches go through the devices, that's going to be cleaning, and that is going to get you a genuine grading. So both sides are heavily polished. This one I have as a variety. I've got it written down as a variety of AM 7 or a 12, but I'm not real sure on that. It has a very near date. It's got a doubled 1 and a tilted 7 is what I've picked out of it. So I've got it listed as an MS61, proof like, $150 coin. So I actually have other coins that are worth more that I would rather submit, but I decided to do this video just because I want to try to get as many of my proof likes and dimples categorized, basically. So here's an 1898 O, and I have it as some of the attributions are the O is set high on it. You can see it's tucked in there under the wreath pretty high. I've got it as the O is tilted. You can kind of see there too, it's tilted to the right, and a near date as well. Because there's so many different varieties, I've got this as a 4, a 5, or a 7, but on all of those, it doesn't tell you really what they're worth. It's got this nasty, they almost look like denticles, they're bag marks for sure, but at any rate, kind of cool to some degree. I've got it as an MS63. That though might ding me down lower, but wishful thinking, MS63. I've got it as a dimple, and I've got it as $400 plus because $400 plus because I don't know which variety it is and how much it's going to add to the value. And here we go on the last one, 1902. So this is the last one I'm going to show you on the video. There may be a few more that I submit out of my album, because I've got a couple really nice ones in my album. If I do that, I will tell you on the return video what I graded them as personally, and I won't lie, don't worry. So this is a 1902 New Orleans. I believe it is a proof like, and I'm going to submit it with variety attribution because there's things about it, but I couldn't really nail it down. Some of these variety attributions, I'm going to pay for them, and I'm not going to get them. Because even though there's things about it that stand out, there might be doubling here and there, or this and that, but I won't get them because PCGS does not recognize it yet. So they'll just, even though they can see them, if it's not in their list of varieties, I won't get them. I'm aware of that possibility. I'm hoping that there will be something that they find, and it will bump up the value a little bit more. So I've got this one rated as an MS64, proof like, and again, since I don't know what variety or if it will be a variety, I'm listing it as a $325 plus value. So there you have it, guys. That is basically, that's all of them. I think was 16 or 17 in there. I want to try to round it up to 20. I like to just get a full 20. I get a full box back, and you have more for the return video. I'll take a look at the ones in my album. I'll try to get to 20 if I can, but if I don't have anything that will really show the proof-like or dimple reflectivity, I'm not gonna waste my money unless it's worth. What I might do is I might throw some other coins that aren't dimple and stuff, and we just won't talk about those when it comes back unless it's something interesting. So I hope you enjoyed it. Smash that like button, subscribe, thumbs up, all that good stuff. And I'll see you guys on the next one.